If you've ever wanted to know how to use stencils to paint your gun, then stand by because in Hawkeye's Custom Corner, he's going to show you how to do that. Coming right up. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? How's it going, everybody? I hope you can hear me loud and clear. I am excited to be here tonight. It is another Tuesday night for the Tuesday night Fireside Chat on Builders Tribe, guys. We definitely welcome you. I hope everybody's had a great week. Man, it's been busy. Mr. Weapon put a message up on the board at how busy everybody is, and everybody responding. And we definitely, everybody's keeping busy doing their thing. It is a Tuesday night. It is May 16th at 10 p.m. And if you are here with us, we want to appreciate you being here. We thank you. If this is your first time here, we definitely thank you. You could be doing so many different things on a Tuesday night, including sleeping or whatever, but you chose to be here with us. Even if it's for a little while, we definitely appreciate you being here. If you have any questions for the tribe that is in the chat, feel free to post your question up there. But if you have a question for any of the hosts here on the screen, please preface your question with a question mark. That way we know you are trying to ask us specifically a question, and we can answer your question as soon as possible. We have we have a couple of announcements. We got some new things that are coming up. If you give me 1 second, I'm trying to get the questions, not the questions, but the statements up here. Whoa, what the heck happened there? Man, I'll tell you what, every week it seems like we have some technical difficulties. I'm glad I don't need the writing that is currently missing from this document I'm looking at. It's like the writing is all in white for some reason. I don't freaking know. But one of the things we definitely want to say is we have some new, you know what? I'm not even going to do those until we bring everybody up, because that's important. Everybody's here to respond to this. So let me just go ahead and introduce my man, the myth, Mr. Weapon XYZ. What's going on, Weapon?
What up, people? How y'all doing tonight?
Man, I'm doing outstanding. And let's go ahead and let's not belabor the point, because this is the man's night. Mr. Hawkeye, what's going on, Hawk?
Hey, guys.
What up, brother?
Okay, what
Same old stuff.
Okay, hold on, guys. There we go. I had weapons in my head cut off. Had the wrong layout. Oh man, look, man, I'm just excited as usual to be here.
We can run the whole thing like that.
Oh yeah, you're not afraid to show that belly now, Mr. Flat.
Nothing weird going on here.
Oh man, yeah. So we got a few things going on, and we had a couple of ideas on how to, because, all right, let me start here. We've had some members on the site that have been absolutely killing it, and they've been posting up a lot of the information that comes out on the web, you know, because we all get texts, we all get emails of different sales and everything going on. And we wanted to be able to recognize, and one of the members, he brought it up that he was trying to get his badge, his Junior Achievement Enabler badge. So, you know, I thought that was a very good idea. So we went ahead and added some junior enablers to the list, and this is their badge. Mr. Jeffro and Senior Moment, there are new enablers. I want you guys to give them a hand, give them a round of applause. If you guys are in here, you guys are doing your thing, and you got the mouth as the badge, because you know you're not afraid to open your mouth and tell everybody when there's sales going on and when you can save money, and we really appreciate that. So we definitely wanted to recognize you. You guys are the new junior enabler, and we got one guy. He is now the senior enabler, Mr. Darth Dav 777. He's earned his bones. That's why he's got the crossbones. He's earned his bones because he is in there faithfully, week in, week out, you know, posting up when things come up, whenever he can get on there. So definitely, I went through all of the posts in the deal section, and he by far has even posted more than me. So I definitely wanted to give him his bones per se, because he's definitely earned it. And so you guys, definitely hit them up if they're in the chat. We don't know who's in the chat yet because I haven't let Mr. Weapon XYZ tell us who's in there yet, and I can't see it because I'm not looking at it. I'm creating too many things over here. So if those guys are in there, tell them what's up, tell them congratulations. So while we're doing that, go ahead, Mr. Weapon XYZ. Who we got in the chat tonight, man?
Oh man, we got the usual suspects in here. We got Ed Levance.
What's going on, Ed?
Got Mr. Darth Dav.
Congratulations, Darth Dav.
Got Mr. Vino.
Mr. Vino, what's going on, man?
Blade Boy as always.
Blade Boy, good to see you here, man.
How you feeling about 76% being able to be shipped to California now?
Are they? I missed that. Mm-hmm. See, that's in the news.
All right, well, I'll bring that up here in a bit.
Yeah.
I believe MMC Armory is now shipping to Cali 76% frames. Okay. And they were reached out to multiple times by a certain somebody that y'all may know as Monty Reviews.
Monty
is a regular watcher here. Monty reached out to them to get some clarification before posting anything to the Paul and Rady subreddit.
Okay.
In regards to that, because we all want to be cautious of the laws, and we all want to make sure that we're not, inviting our doors to be kicked open.
Sure. Yeah, we definitely don't want that.
So he reached out to them, and they said, "Well, we're not quite sure about that email. Let me get back to you." So they, kicked it around for a bit, got back to him, said, "Hey, we're reaching out to our legal department to see that email was sent out correctly." Another back and forth or two, and finally they got back and said, "Yeah, it's good to go." We talked to our legal department. The emails that we sent out in regards to 76 being able to ship to California is legit. Build away. So
nice. That's what's up, man.
Yep.
So
hell yeah,
you guys, man, definitely
freedom for all.
There's been several videos out there how to do the 76%, and if anybody has them, go ahead and post them up in the forum. That way, if anybody out there like Mr. Blade Boy decides they want to get a 76%, the videos will be easily. We'll create a database so it'll be easier to access without having to hunt through, 1,000 messages in the thread. So, but
absolutely.
But speaking of news, guys, there's been multiple victories in the Second Amendment over these last couple of weeks. It's been so many that I haven't had a chance to look at them all. The one I just viewed not too long ago today was about, what was he talking about? I can't even remember now. Jeez, it's been so many. I've been so busy trying to get ready for the show. I done forgot what it was about. But I was looking at Copper Jacket TV, and he was talking about how it was about the federal judge that put an injunction on the states that all of a sudden had all of these sensitive areas, primarily New Jersey, and they put an injunction on more than half of the areas that they wanted to claim as being sensitive. So, one of the things they wanted to say a sensitive area was a public location, a private business that's open to the public. You couldn't carry your gun, whether they had a sign or not. You couldn't carry a gun in your car. How was your car, yours, a sensitive location? I'm trying to figure that out. But anyway, they got the injunction. But what I'm saying is there's been multiple victories, multiple defeats, guys. If you guys want to do a show on the news, like if we want to do one show a month or something like that, or once every other month or whatever, where we cover just the news going on in 80% land and even, pistol braces, all of that stuff, let us know. Hit us in the comments, or, hit us in the chat right now. Let us know if with a thumbs up, if that's something you guys might want to do. I don't mind doing it maybe once a month, or once every other month, and we just kind of cover what the current events are, because a lot of it affects us. Because there's so many different companies out there there's so many different laws and different things that affect us as builders that we might need a little more clarity on. So if that's something you guys want to do, go ahead and put a thumbs up in the chat or in the comments if you're watching this, and we'll do that. We'll do that we'll try it starting next month. So, but speaking of new things, we got something new that we've been kicking around between me, Weapon, and Nas Veritas. We wanted to do a new contest because I went through all of the items that we've gotten donated, and they're still here. Whatever we haven't given away, I went through the other day, and we've got a lot of stuff here, guys. We've got a lot of patriots that absolutely want to help you build. So if you're watching this and you're a new builder, even if you're in the forum already, but if you're not in the forum, guys, get in the forum, because there's going to be contests that will only be run in the forum. We're going to do it at least once a month, and the goal is to do it next week, the first one. So it's called What Is It? And basically, I'm going to put up a picture probably a few days before the live broadcast, and it's going to be a picture having to do with building. I'm not going to make it easy. This one in this picture, this is the first one that's going to go up. It's easy for you guys. It might not be easy for those that aren't building yet, but anybody can win. But you have to be present, and you have to be on the broadcast, which will only broadcast in the forum. So you have to be a member, which is free, guys. It's free to be a member. And if you don't know how to get there, the address is at the bottom of the screen right now, or it's at the top left-hand corner of the screen. Go there, register to be a member. We'll broadcast, okay? And we'll do the drawing. All you have to do is know what it is, and you'll be entered. So if you give a correct answer, you'll be entered. And some of you guys probably want to know what the prizes are. Well, let's see. The first prize will be, I wrote it down somewhere. Hold on a minute. I sent the text to the guys the other day, and there's so much stuff that we'll be able to do this for a few months at least before we run out of things that have been donated, guys. Because Mr. Hawkeye and some of the other people, Ed Levance, and man, it's just, I don't want to really name names because it's been so many people that have donated stuff. I'm sure I'll forget a name, and I'll never forgive myself if I forget a name. So let's just say that a lot of people sent some stuff. So this was the idea for the first drawing. All right, first, Glock OEM Gen 4 trigger housing, which of course can be modified to use on the Gen 3 frame. Stainless steel dimple pins. I know I got at least 3 sets of those. Gen 3 Glock 17 or 19 grips. Ghost Ink Armorer's backplate, OEM trigger bar and shoe. I'm probably going to throw in a connector also. Everything will be sent out to the winners completely polished and ready to install. I'll polish them myself, and they'll be ready to go. And then I think I have 2 or 3 unbranded RMRs that actually work and that have actually been tested on my firearms. So each time we do this drawing, one person will win everything, including an RMR that they can put on whatever weapon they want to put on. So what do you guys think about that? I think that will definitely be something because, I'm sorry. Our patriots, they donated this stuff for you guys. So we want to be able to give it out to you guys. So definitely next week, we're going to do a test before next week. Next week's show will be broadcast on the Builders Tribe forum. So with that being said, and I know it is 20 minutes after, geez. All right, give me 1 minute and I will definitely let Hawkeye get it. Now, because it's going to be on the forum, we can talk about whatever the hell we want to talk about. We can show whatever we want to show. We run the show over on the forum. So if guys want to talk about modifications and have us show how the mods are done, we can do that. I can set up a camera in my shop and we can go to the tabletop and we can show how different modifications are done. We can do any of that. So if you come up with an idea during tonight's show that you want to talk about during the times when we broadcast live, absolutely let us know. And Mr. Weapon XYZ will take it down and he'll let me know exactly what subjects came up. So we'll work it in and we'll definitely do it. That way we can absolutely broadcast whatever the heck we want on our website and our forum. Good enough? All right, guys. Oh shit. We'll talk about that later. I had one more thing I wanted to mention, but I am eating up Mr. Hawkeye's time, so I want to get him up here. Mr. Hawkeye, oh man, the stage is yours, my friend. Oh, what the heck did I do here? Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I gotta move Hawkeye. That's what it is. There we go.
All right, guys.
Let me know when you're ready for me to bring your slides up, though.
All right. Well, I got into making my own stencils because you cannot get stencils small enough to work with pistols a lot of the times. They just don't. And they have to be modified so much that nobody's going to do that for you. So let's go ahead and bring up the slide and let's get started. All right. We all know custom corners, stencil making. Now, these are some places that I've dealt with, and there's a lot more. I couldn't list them all. I got a whole bunch of stencils that are good for like ARs or, I don't know, really large pistols. But all their stencils are just way too big to put on a slide or put on a grip for a logo or something. They're just huge. And they'll make any stencil you want if you send them the file for it. But they're not going to edit it for you. And that's what they need to be done when you do it. And the best way to do that is design your own. And this program, I'm almost positive it's a free download. It's a basic program, and what it does is it'll show you how to take an image that you can get off the internet and you can put in here and you can size it down and make it to whatever size you want. And then when you save that file, you should be able to send that to these people and they'll do it for you for $20. This is what I'm going to do for you guys. If you design your own and get it to the size you want and you have the file that you want, I'll print it for you.
Nice.
But I can't do all the other work for you. It just takes up too much time. And we'll talk about this. But you need to be an active member on the forum. And I mean an active member, not just, I'm there once in a while. Be an active member.
That's important right there. That's important because we got a lot of members and a lot of them aren't active, but some of them are watching. But yeah, it's definitely, we need the input. So that's good stuff. Yeah. Appreciate you, Hawkeye.
So here's what I'm talking about. You look at the image on the left, look at all the detail that's in that snake head. There's a lot of detail. And when you shrink that down to put on your pistol, what happens is the cut lines and the details start washing out. And you can't weed it because it's just a bunch of cross lines and it just falls apart. So you can see there on the right where I went in and I took a lot of that detail out because you can't see it anyway. When you reduce it down to a couple of inches or an inch and a half, whatever size you need, it just goes away anyway. So when you take it out, that's what I come up with on the right. And I can take that image and I can reduce it down to an inch and a half, 2 inch, and you're able to weed it and you're able to see what it actually does.
That picture looks familiar.
And the way I do that, it should. And this is how I take those detail out. I had to get this is a Paint Shop Pro program that I'm familiar with from when I fooled around with this stuff back in the 90s. And it works really good. And the way I do it is I have a touchscreen laptop. So what I did was I bought these styluses that have different tips on them, and then actually sit there on my laptop, and I can erase, I can blow the image up in that paint program to the point to where it's just huge. You can see anything in it, and you can take these styles and you can just start erasing stuff or adding stuff, however you want to do it. But this is the way I do it, and it's simple for me with what I have. It's just a laptop.
Nice.
Now here you can see what I'm talking about. This is actually the Silhouette Basic program, and you can see where there on the left, it's real hard to see because it's such a light line. But when you take that image and you try to put it in that program to do a stencil, what it does is it looks for contrasts, and you need like a black and white or just a large contrast between colors, and it'll draw lines around that, and that'll be your stencil. Well, what it does on this image is it wants to put 2 or 3 lines in there where you really only need one. And then when you shrink it down, these lines cross and you can't cut it. And the same thing on the left, you can see the head there. Little objects like those teeth and the eyes and stuff, when you start to reduce that down, it just overlap and it just washes away, so you can't see it. So what I did here is I took a lot of that detail out, and you can see where I just used the head on the left on my pistol there. And I got the image I want, but I didn't need all the armor. It was just way too much detail, even after I removed it, to try and put that on the pistol. So I actually made my detail by using the diamond stempel and went down through there. It gave me the same effect. But the head part, it was the real pain because there was so much detail in that. When you reduced it down to that size, you couldn't see what it was. You couldn't weed it. You couldn't do any of that. So that's what I'm talking about when you're making these stencils for pistols. You have to be able to do stuff like that. And this is what I'd used. Now, they make a cricket, and they got all different versions of this. This is really an overkill for what I do. And I'll tell you guys, if you hunt around on these local sales network stuff, you can pick these things up pretty cheap because people will buy them. They'll use them once, and then they'll lose interest in them. My daughter got a whole nice set of everything for $100, and that's just. I'm just saying, you can look around and you can pick that stuff up cheap.
I need to shop where she's shopping.
Yeah, well, you know,
here they don't let them go too cheap around here.
Yeah, so that's not weeding. We're not talking about that kind of weeding. This is some of the tools that you need. You need a way to cut your stencils, and you need some of these little tools to hold stuff down. A good number 11 razor blade knife works really good. A straight edge. I mean, just you know, whatever you're comfortable with using is what you need to use. But this really helps. For old men who can't see, a magnifier with a light really helps you see those cut lines, because to be able to weed, you need to be able to see what you need and what you don't need.
And it's definitely hard to see them.
Exactly. You got to shine a light just right. You got to turn it just. Anyway, this really helps me out a lot. I've been using one of these for 30 years or so. Here's what I'm talking about. Here's the stencil I'm putting on my Jeep. Now you can see that's the stencil I want. And all the other stuff around it I didn't need. So I had to go in there and I had to remove it. Now here's a tip on removing this, especially these big stencils, is you need to take and cut sections and take it out in sections. If you try to just start weeding and rolling all that out, they're sticky, and if they ever roll back around and stick on a part you need to stay on there, it's a pain in the butt to get them to unstick without tearing it.
Yep.
Yeah, you basically have to use tweezers to get them unstuck. Is the best way that I've found.
And then they stretch, and then they're no good. Mm-hmm. So the best thing I can tell you is, if you're going to get a stencil made, get 5 stencils made. because you
If
want to
not
have
more.
you want to be able to, like, here's what I'll do with these stencils. I'll make a bunch of them up, and I'll have an idea in my head of what I want it to look like on my pistol. Well, I'll take the part that I normally would weed, I would leave on, so I can stick it on there, and I can look, and I can see, okay, that's what I want. Is it going to fit? Is it going to look good? And it works out that way. Then I can take it off, throw it away, and I have 4 or 5 other stencils when it comes time to paint or to etch or however you want to do it. You got extra stencils. Always have extra stencils. And if you got them left over, that's a good thing. Save them, because if you ever want to go back and touch up a paint or change something, I don't know. I got envelopes full of stencils and stuff. So,
So do I.
Yeah,
Lots
same
of them.
here. Y'all got more than I got, but I have, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, every once in a while I go through my old stencils and I'll try and come up with ideas or stuff like that. But another thing, you can go on the internet and you can search. Let's say you wanted to search snake heads. You can put snakes stencil art, and it'll come up just tons of free artwork that you can get right off the internet. Save it, bring it into your paint program, do your editing. You don't have to worry about sizing in that program. Just do your detail editing, and then when you take it into the Silhouette program or a Cricut program, whichever one you use, you can size it to whatever size you want, and you can have it show your cut lines, and then you can tell it if you need to edit it some more or if it's going to work for you.
There you go.
The way I do it. Yeah. Just look at them. There's all kinds, and this is exactly what you want. Notice the contrast. You got dark and you got white or a light color. That way the stencil program is able to distinguish lines, and that's how it works. It distinguishes that line between the two colors, and that's what they make their cut lines on.
There's other type of file types you can use to search for. You can search for vector files. So, snake vector image will come up with a lot of those black with the negative space and no background, which is nice with the vectors is you don't get a background. You just get the image file itself with a black file
true.
Typically.
In that Paint Shop Pro program that I got, you can take an image, say you get a JPEG, and you can make the background transparent. Once you figure out these programs, it's amazing what they'll do for you.
I believe another name for a stencil file format is VSSX, I believe.
Dude,
or
that
.VSSX.
Yeah, they're out, and there's also a bunch of them out there you can pay for if somebody's already done the editing for you.
Yep.
They're
that's
just
some
all
qualified weeding you got going on right there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now see, here's what I'm talking about. What you do is you take transfer paper, which is like a clear sticky paper, and once you do your weeding, you'll put this on, and then when you take it off, you slowly peel, and you want to peel as close to a 90-degree pull as you can. And as you're pulling, you want to have your little tool thing and try and help pull that stencil off. And then you can take it and you can line it up on your pistol or wherever you want to put it and make sure it's going to look right, and then go ahead and roll it off. Because you can see.
I should have called you guys before. I transferred. I put the sticker, the stencil on the transfer paper before I weeded it, and then tried to weed it after I put it on where I was transferring it to.
Yeah.
It didn't work out that great.
No.
Now that's not a bad thing to do in certain situations. You take that hawk head I got, it'll take an hour. I'm not kidding. It'll take an hour to weed that thing, at least for me, because I can't see half of those little lines you got to take out. So what I did when I made those coins, is I actually put the whole stencil on there using transfer paper, and I pulled it off, and then I weeded it on that coin, and it made it easier to hold things in. If you got a stencil that's got a lot of detail, like bring that picture back up. See that one on the right? See all the little detail in that?
Yep.
Well, on something like that, you can put that whole stencil on there and take one of those number 11 XO knives, or they make those little sharp point picks, and you can just start picking it and taking it off of that, because all those little lines and stuff like that, when you start trying to bring that transfer paper off of that, those are the hardest things to keep from getting distorted. So on something that's that much detail, it might be to your advantage to put that on and then weed it on there instead of weeding it before you put it on. But the one on the left, that scroll down the side and stuff, that was actually weeded before I put it on, because it's just a big weed that comes off, and it's easy to do. But the fine little lines here and there on there, so that's what that's why you need extra stencils. You'll try it one way, it won't work, and you try it another way and get it to work. That's why you need to have a lot.
That project I was working on, I'm down to my last stencil. I'm like, oh my God. The person who did the stencil is no longer around, so I might.
Yeah. If you got the artwork,
I've been looking for the artwork, but I'm not sure, because they did all of the editing to the artwork. I'm trying to find the original artwork I sent them. That's the problem.
I may be able to find the file for the edited one somewhere in my phone.
Yeah, if you find it, let me know.
I'm pretty sure I have it.
Yeah. Anywho, go ahead, man. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, you can use your stencils for etching too. They work pretty good. The only thing is when you're getting the small areas, like if you see where it says 45 ACP, the 4 got washed out because the stencil was so small right in there. It started picking up.
Oh, I thought that was ASAP.
Well, it says 45.
Yeah. That's why I that's why I enlarged it so I could see better. Yeah.
That stuff like that happens, and the reason for that is this is really an over deep etch. You really don't need etching quite that deep. I don't think,
unless you're color filling it.
Yeah, but anyway. And all I can say is next time, keep building. You can see the etching that I used the stencils here for. They turned out really good. That one's not quite as deep. It just turned out really well.
My wife is interested in etching, so I may have her get on with you guys so she can learn how to etch. Because I
might need to do a show on etching.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's doable, man. I mean, you can do whatever you want on your segment. And you know what? I think that's something we could definitely do live without having to worry about getting kicked off.
Yeah.
So,
if any of you guys got any questions, now's the time to spit them out. Because this is pretty much it.
Cool. Well, that was a quick synopsis of the etching, and
I tried to make it a little shorter because usually I get a little long on these things.
Dude, you can stay on as long as you want, man, because it's all good information. And I'm working on getting all of the information chopped up and reposted onto the forum as well as on the channel. So I've been working on that all day today. But
really, like I was telling you guys, if you're an active member and you do your own editing, you send me the file, I'll print it for you. I got, I like to use that yellow vinyl for stencils on my pistols and stuff. It's just easier to see, easier to work with. Like my Jeep, I'm putting black on it. I got white that we can put on windows. But I don't mind. You're an actor member. The only thing about editing all that is it's so time consuming. I can spend hours and hours that I don't have trying to edit this stuff. But I'm sure you guys can check that out and see if that's a free program. And if you're
I'm currently downloading it right now to test for people.
It allows you to take whatever image you want and size it to whatever you want to make your stencil. And as long as your image doesn't have a lot of detail to it, there shouldn't be very much editing you would have to do. And
yeah, sometimes you just got to dumb these files down to make it a little easier to, if you're going to be etching, especially.
Yeah, but I ended up getting in about $1,000 in this. I'm sure you guys wouldn't have that much, because when I got pissed about not finding the stencils I needed at the size I needed, all I ever had at that point was a Chromebook, and you can't do this kind of stuff on a Chromebook. So I had to buy a laptop. So I spent money on a laptop. Then I bought the Cameo, and I had to spend money on that. So I got right in $1,000 just in that, not counting the rolls of stencils and vinyl. And
that's not hard to do.
I know.
No, not at all.
And it's easy to learn this stuff, because if you don't know how to use it, just go on YouTube. There is so much stuff on there. You put up with these cute little girls telling you how to do all this stuff, and you actually learn if you pay attention.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And it also helps that it's a cute little girl, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I got no problem with that.
Neither do I.
At least they look like girls. They're, but
okay. We're not going there. Well, Hawkeye, thank you, man. That's awesome information. I tell you what, guys, and he makes it sound very, very easy. He has a lot of practice at doing it. I'm telling you.
It took me almost a month of watching those videos to figure out how everything worked together. But it's like everything else. You just got to do your homework, and you can figure it out.
Well, I sat in my living room last night looking at this next piece I'm about to show you guys, and it's done being built. It's not done being designed, meaning there still needs a paint job, still needs some work done to it. So I was sitting there going, exactly, how do I want to do this? What paint? Because the original design for it, I'm not interested in doing the original design anymore. So now I'm redesigning something that was never fully designed, if that makes any sense. You know how we do. You start building something and it changes, about 100 times before you actually finish. But I was sitting there and I'm like, okay, I don't have the stencils I need to do what I have in mind. So I'll definitely be sending you out some files probably in the next week. I wanted to get it done by this weekend since I have my AR-15 class this weekend. So in case some of you don't remember, I have an AR-15 student class because I'm going to take the instructor class in July, but I had an opportunity to take the student class this coming weekend. And we talked about, whether I wanted to spend the money to go ahead and buy a whole nother AR-22 and a dedicated and so on. So I couldn't find anything that didn't look like a toy that was going to break in half if I put too many rounds through it. There was one for like $200 down in Raleigh, but I didn't want to do that. So I went ahead and I did get the CMMG 22 long rifle conversion kit. And I think I don't remember who posted it, guys. Don't beat me up, but I know somebody posted it was $169.99 at Palmetto State Armory. That's where I got it from. I also got the CCI ammunition from there. It was like $8 and change for 100 rounds. So I got like 500 rounds. Taking it out tomorrow to get to we call it zero. I'm not sure which, as you see on the screen, that's the the 5.56 that I'm going to use, and I've already put I can't show it on screen. I've already put the conversion kit in. That was interesting. It pays to read the directions fully.
Yeah.
Even
you once you get that set up, there's another part you can add to it so that the slide will lock open at the last round.
Yeah. Well, we'll figure that out after this weekend.
Mine's a Palmetto State conversion barrel or complete upper 22 that I dropped on a lower.
Mm-hmm.
And I put that in there, and I use the it's a tactical, it's CCI stuff, but it's a rifle tactical. It's I think it's a little hotter, and they have a solid copper jacketed bullet that doesn't dirty up the barrel as much.
This one is copper.
Is it? Well, that's good. 40 grain.
Yeah. Yeah. 22 long rifle, copper plated, round nose, target 40 grain.
Yeah, that's what you need.
1,235 feet per second.
Yeah. For some reason, I read somewhere that the hollow points are dirtier, and they let up the barrel.
I'm not. Yeah, just I got these. Like I said, they were like 850 for 100 rounds, which is about right.
But I like that. It actually gives you the weight of an AR.
Mm-hmm.
So you got this wow, and you go. Pop, 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 pop. It's
yeah. I'm gonna figure it out tomorrow. I didn't know if I wanted to stay with the blade, the Swamp Fox blade that is on there, or switch to the Liberator 2, which is a little smaller. The weight doesn't bother me. It's just a different reticle. I mean, the Liberator 2 is just a dot, and this is a circle with a reticle, so on and so forth. But it's already on there, so I'm thinking about just leaving it.
Yeah.
Zero that tomorrow and make it work for this weekend, because we're not doing long distance anyway. I mean,
yeah, me neither.
It's a 1X. It's not even. It's no magnification on it. So
I think I either have a SIG on there or a Crimson Trace. One of the two. I kind of go to those on my ARs. But I tell you, I'd rather shoot those 22s now than anything. I don't know. Maybe it's because I'm old and things hurt when I shoot now, especially big boards. I wouldn't even attempt to shoot a 45-70 like I used to have.
This will be my first time trying to shoot it without the pistol brace on it, since we can no longer use pistol braces. Just the buffer tube. So this will be interesting.
I'm lucky. The one I got's a carbine, so I can just shoot that thing. I love it. And I got one of those M&P 22s, and they're nice, but they're like you said, they feel like toys. But it's a solid shooter too. It's perfect if you got young kids, like grandkids that you're trying to teach to shoot, because it's not as heavy as an AR, and they can shoot that.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go ahead and build a dedicated 22 for when I start instructing, because one, I want to have something that's going to be that the students can use. I don't want them to use my personal ARs, so I'll probably build one, since I have everything except the complete upper. And when I went to the only place I could find one within a moderate price range of what I was ready to spend, because I had to buy ammo too. So, I'm like, okay, I can't go too far in the weeds with this. But the only one that had a complete upper was Bear Creek Arsenal, and they had a heavy barrel. I'm like, why do you need a heavy barrel for a 22? I have a heavy barrel that I got from Bear Creek Arsenal, and it's stout. So I'm like, the last thing I wanted to do was add a stout 16-inch 22 barrel to, so I'll probably get a 22 pencil barrel if that exists. I'm not sure if that exists or not, but hopefully it does, and I can get something lightweight to be able to run the 22 with. Something just disappeared off the screen. Anyway,
Are you going to do a 22 pistol for him to shoot too?
I have a couple of 22 pistols.
That's a good start for training somebody.
I bought the TX22 compact from Taurus, and then I also have a single action 22 revolver just for demonstration purposes. You know, nobody's going to want to shoot it, especially not to qualify, but you know, for demonstration purposes to know the single action versus double action. But that TX22, man, is pretty daggone good. Once I got the right ammunition for it, CCI works with no doubt, but it wouldn't run the Cellar and Belia, and neither would the revolver. So I think it's more of a ammo issue than the gun issue. But the CCI worked perfectly.
Yeah, that's what I shoot most of the time.
So
I got a bunch of old stuff like those Thunderbirds, I think, that would shoot stuff. But I shoot that in a high standard 99. It's a pistol, and I'll shoot that in my bolt action rifles. But I don't know. Kids don't care. They just love to shoot.
Hawkeye, you got a question from Darth Dav. What do you use to have last shot bolt hold open for 22 kit?
Oh man, it's been so long ago. I couldn't tell you. I'll have to look it up. But if you you can do a search around it, and there's all kinds of people that'll tell you where to go. I forgot where I got that at, but it works great.
Is it made by CMMG?
It may be. Like I said, it was 4 or 5 years ago I did that. I'm old. I can't remember that far. But just do a search. I forgot where, because that's what I did. I searched on a couple of forums, and I come up with the answer for what I needed. But that works out real good. I like having that bolt fly open on the end, so I know when to change. Plus, when I built this so I could show my kids and my wife how an AR actually works, and unless it kicks back on that last shot, they don't get the feel for I'm out of ammo. I need to change my clip or magazine, and that's why I did it. It's not something you have to do. It's something that it's just nicer. It's more makes it like a real AR for if you're training somebody. Plus, you got to pull the bolt back anyway to reload it, so it might as well hold back.
Midway USA used to sell it, but I don't see it on there right now. But let me see if they relisted it as something else. Let's see. Nope. Let's see. Nope, they don't have it anymore. Let's see. It definitely exists. It's just a matter of finding it.
That's good to know.
It definitely exists. Because they used to, like I said, they used to sell it at Midway USA.
That could have been where I got it. Back 5 years ago, I used to get a lot of stuff from Midway. Hell, I've been buying from Midway since the 80s, before there was even internet.
So yes, the Silhouette program is free. It looks fairly intuitive, and I mean, some moderate playing around, and most people should be able to figure out how to use it. I just hopped in here for a whole 5 seconds, and I've already got an image that I'm manipulating in here.
Yeah, I mean, hell, I do it. Come on.
There you go, folks.
Yeah.
Cool. That looks familiar too.
Yeah.
I mean, a little bit. It's just a basic. It's just a basic spearhead or spear.
Okay, now
I had a file for.
Now go up to where it says the very last one on the left. I can't see it because of the hawk head there. What do they call it? Design or cut? Go up there and hit that button.
Where?
All the way to the left at the top, next to library. I can't see what it's called. Is it called?
Okay.
Talk about the little
Bolt
crosshatch.
release magazine catch.
Way up on the end. In other words, like you're going to send it. Maybe it says send. Yeah, there you go. Now, what it does is what that's doing right there is that's showing you the cut lines, but it's not showing you what's going to be cut. So go back to design. Okay. Well, there's some other stuff. You just have to watch the pretty girls on the YouTube. They'll show you how to do it. But what you got to do is you got to copy that, and then you got to trace it, and then you down at the bottom it says do something else. Anyway, it'll trace your lines, and then when you go to that send, it'll show you where the cut lines are, and that's how you can tell if you need to take out more detail.
Yep. By the way, guys, I was supposed to have downloaded this like a good month and a half ago. But I figured, since we're in the stream right now, I should just do it now.
Yeah.
So I did it now.
So now it gives you something to play with for the next time you need some stencils.
Right.
Okay. Cool. Guys, I found, you know what? I was looking, I guess I didn't know what I was looking for, but CMMG has the bolt. It's basically they're saying it just replaces the bolt release. Let me go ahead and share my screen. It's just and Hawkeye can confirm that basically it's just this. Is that what you have, Hawkeye? Did you install one of these? Okay.
Well, there was a whole top that went on it. Maybe that was.
Yeah, they just said it just extends this piece up here. If you see my arrows spinning around it, it just basically. Let's see if I can get that in there.
Yeah, that looks like a better design than what I ended up putting in.
It basically just change the bolt release because that little tab up top activates. And if you read the description down here, it basically says it just replaces the regular AR-15 bolt release and replaces it with this one. So if you're going to be running something, pretty much full time, then hey, you might want to swap this out.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll do that on a different build.
You can take an AR lower and dedicate it strictly for 22s.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, could do that. So it is available in different places. CMMG does have it in stock right now. It's $30. But when I looked at the list, they did have a few other places that might have it in stock. So, yep. All it did was do CMMG 22 long rifle last round hold open. That's the search I did, and it came up with all of that. So I just dropped it into the chat.
That's a whole lot easier than that kit I bought because I had to change a lot of other stuff in that. I remember that because it didn't work at first, and then I had to swap it around and do some stuff.
Cool.
It wasn't just an easy drop in, basically.
Yeah, not that easy. That I'll have to look at that.
All right, guys. Well, we are sitting at the 11 o'clock hour. I know we started a few minutes late, but
oh my, look at the time go.
Oh, geez, man! Don't ever do that again. Oh man, I tell you what. Thank you again, Hawkeye, for all of your invaluable information as usual. I look forward to the third Tuesday of the month when we can get your expertise on anything because it's all helpful.
Well, I want to thank all the guys who post. Go ahead and post up stuff you're working on. Post up stuff you've already done and let us know how you customize something or ideas you have on doing things. that's how we get ideas, is shooting around different ideas that people have and how they would do them, and how I would do them, or Ram would do them, or weapons. That's what we do. We like to design a pistol, and there's a lot of work or pre-work to actually designing one, getting it all straight in your head, what you want one to look like.
Last house, I was sitting looking at that 5.56 for like 3 hours, just looking at it, going, "What am I gonna do?"
That's what I'll do. I'll take one that I build and make sure it works before I do any custom work on it, and I'll set it on the stand, and I'll set it in front of me while I'm watching TV or I'm out working on something else, and I just keep looking at it, trying to get an idea to pop in my head, or a color, or just something. And that's how I do it. And like right now, I'm working on a pistol. You've seen where I've been playing around with that pearl inlay stuff.
Yeah.
I'm working out there on something like that, and I'm already thinking what I'm going to do this winter on my winter builds, and how the process, the steps, and when I tell you guys, when you want to do custom work on your pistol, you need to get all your steps thought out before you do them. Like this pearl inlay stuff, it's something that I thought about this for months. And I finally came up with, that's the kind of stuff I need to do from the very beginning, because it has to be sanded, so you can't have nothing painted around it. So it's going to be, well, you'll see it as it's going along. It's just finding the time to get going on it. I got some other things to change on it. But we've seen Will Shogun Customs, and how he does those borders, those custom borders of his, and painted and stuff. This is along the same idea, but you're doing those borders in a pearl powder. And I'm real surprised at how easy it is to work that. You just need to get your steps a little different. I did my steps a little wrong on them. I may take it out and just redo the whole thing, or I may just do sections of it. But it's something to look into, because it's really not that hard, and you can really get some amazing looks with some different colored pearl. Now, I know in the pictures that you're seeing that I've posted, it's kind of dull looking, but that's because it's not polished yet. You can take that and put some polish on it and some oil, and it'll bring out that luster color of the pearl. Or you can do what I'm planning on doing, is just doing the whole pistol in a clear coat, and that'll bring out that shine that you get, that you usually see out of a pearl. But anyway, I'm always looking for new ideas, and that's one I came up with.
Hell yeah.
Well, hopefully I can get this polymer situation taken care of. I'll discuss more. Anyway. But anyway, guys, we are at the 11:04 hour, and I think we started at 10:04, so we are right at the hour. So we definitely, we're actually 2 minutes short of an hour. So that's cool, because it is time to go to bed. We all got full days tomorrow.
Oh, y'all. The reason Hawkeye, for my I woke up probably 15 minutes ago. I took me a nap. So I woke up, and the wife kind of came in and nudged me, and she goes, "Baby, it's 8:30. It's my time here. I get on at 9. Hey, baby, it's 8:30. Your show starts in 30 minutes. You need to get up." I was like, "Oh,
well, I appreciate her waking me up."
I said, "Oh shit, I do gotta get up." So I went and took the dog out before I hopped on with y'all.
Cool. Well, we definitely appreciate it. We are going to say good night to everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Next week, again, we're going to be running a test this week to make sure I can figure out how to get us live on the forum. I did it once before. I can't remember how I did it. So hopefully I can grab some of Nas Veritas's time so we can run a test and have that for next week. I'll know more by Saturday. So hopefully we'll be next week doing live, and we'll be doing some special stuff and some on air modifications. So until next week, guys, we will see you guys later. Hasta la